So right now I'm kind of sanding down these seam lines. It's in the middle of the missile pack, which is going to be a pain in the ass to do. But this is one of the things you got to do, of course, to get it right. Could have used a sanding sponge, but I don't want to damage the detail trim parts here. So I cut this sliver of, this, I think it's the 1/400 grit, excuse me, 1/400 grit sanding paper, which is a little bit more abrasive. I have 150, but let me just use this one for now. It's working to a degree, but you got to keep going and going and going until it's nice and smooth, until you see nothing, but there's a little bit there. So this will be a little tedious work, which I gotta do. But we did talk about the fact of putting in an LED battery in here and all that stuff. So that's something I will work on soon. Of course, I was also looking at other things. Putting a little more detail on this part and maybe applying this on it. Also checking out parts like this leg, which I did put on this part. You have this little thing here, which is probably a vent thruster, maneuvering vent thruster. There's a hole here, and then I see a little hole there. I wonder if I can expand it out and put one of those guys here. It's all fine and dandy if I use this. However, I recently purchased some more tools, or excuse me, some more photo etch parts, which I wanted to show off. Excuse me. I got these photo etch part vent type things. See? I got these circle photo etch parts that has vents on them as well. Look at that. The next one is the same thing, but a smaller dimension size. Then we have these little, these circle with a little dash in the middle, or a little, thing in the middle. That looks pretty good. And finally, I have these square vents, which, if I saw it correctly, you can actually take a tweezer and bend the little vents on them at various dimensions and scale. So I got all 5 of these guys. Not to mention, of course, this. So getting this was cool, and I got this at the, I think, USA Gundam. Was it USA Gundam? I may be wrong. I have the packaging right here. Yeah, USAGundamStore.com. So I got these, obviously, for Gundams, and of course maybe use it on this. But I may have made a mistake. I thought I selected one that I liked, and it's not a total loss, because not every one of these not every one of these photo etch parts will be meant for this kit. For starters, I was reviewing the kit and looking at these square parts here. They're pretty big, and I don't see anywhere I could use this. There is one place, but I will review that later on, so I will omit this. This, on the other hand, brought some interesting ideas. And for that, we will need the chest part, which has a vent, this little thing in the in the chest here. And as a matter of fact, if I take this, put it over here, you'll have that. And Is that the right one? I thought that was the right one. Yeah, I think that's the right one. Let me just put it on just in case. Oh no, it's right here. I put it to the side, that's why. Alright, so we have this part here that goes like that. And then we have this part here. Alright, so that completes that, as you could see. But I was thinking, can I put that there and add vents? The vents will be facing downwards, of course. Now, for this part, the actual trim part, or actual design, sticks out like, you know, in an angle, or, you know, it sticks out one way and the other way. So I'm thinking maybe I should sand them down till it's nice and even. Try to make sure that, yeah, sand them down, then put these on, of course, and then put this on, and then vent them out. So vents like that. So a custom vent job for this, for these two. That will be for this. Excuse me. This cold weather is dry. Now it's cold here. I don't crazy weather. So we have that, and I think there's that cross vent. Yeah, we have the crotch vent here, which we can use one of the smaller ones, and of course the foot vent, the vents on the foot. So this will be perfect. These parts will be perfect for that. Alright, so that's good. That's a good idea. So we have this to the side, and we know we're going to use that. Now going back to the circle vents. Circle vents, don't think it will be appropriate to put it in areas that will be in the front, because why are we putting vents on the waist unit, or you know, portions of the waist or the legs, unless it's strategically placed in a way where it's understandable? To be more accurate, or try to explain this better, going back to this part, we have, this is basically a vent right there. But if we drill, like maybe expand it out, or maybe use the smaller part here, we can put that here, since it will represent a thruster vent. Makes sense, right? And then it will simulate, well, obviously it will not simulate, but it will be perfect for that, because it will make sense on a kit like this to have vents right there. Now, parts like here and this hole here actually would be represented. It will represent like parts, you know, the photo etch parts that will look like the parts are bolted into the kit. So these will not be used for that. That's why are you going to use vents for bolting parts on? That's where this guy comes in, and this guy comes in. So I'm thinking like the bigger one, the bigger holes, I'll use these. The smaller holes, I'll use one of these, because I have 1.8 millimeter and 1.7 millimeter and 1.9 millimeter. Sorry, 1.7, 1.8, 1.9. So the 1.7 can go there. Then I can probably do holes here and here. I'll have to figure out the positioning. Portions in the back as well. The big one over here. So we got that. And the thruster. Now, we all know this goes here, right? And I'm going to open up the holes a bit so it's easy for me to take it out. I'll just put it there for now. So I kind of like how this is. It has a little notch there, part of the trim, I guess. Actually, I don't know if it is, because I do see it in, maybe it's part of the molding, but it's interesting. That's actually part of the trim. regardless of the case, I was thinking of putting that there. Drill a hole and then apply that here. I was originally going to put this one on, but it's too small. But this should be sufficient enough. I have a 3mm hole foot edge part there that goes right there. And then back here, drill a hole there, and not this, but this, the larger vents go back here. So obviously it makes sense. Missile launchers firing out, vents in the back, so that way the blast goes backwards. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. So as you can see, I have a lot of detail parts to make a lot of detail for this kit. Obviously I'll continue looking around to see if there's something else to improve it. But what do you guys think of that? Alright, let me continue sanding this little guy down, because it's going to take me some time, and we will move on.